Welcome to another edition of the Market Opening Gong, where we give you updates from the Nigerian capital market. This edition captures some of the key developing stories for the week in the markets. The Central Securities Clearing System has announced that it will hold its 26th annual general meeting by proxy on the 14th floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange building, Lagos, on Friday, 22nd May 2020 by 10 a.m. Central African Time. The company obtained the following approval from the Corporate Affairs Commission as stipulated in the Commission's guidelines on holding of annual general meetings of companies using proxies. According to the Group Company Secretary, Mr. Charles Ojo, the AGM will be done in accordance with the guidelines issued by the Corporate Affairs Commission on the conduct of annual general meetings via proxies in Nigeria as part of the measures to mitigate the negative effect created by the current coronavirus pandemic. CSCS requests every member who is entitled to attend and vote at the company's 26th annual general meeting to appoint a proxy from the list of designated individuals to attend and vote in his or her stead. Attendance of the annual general meeting shall be by proxy only. Mr. Ojo further explained that a proxy needs not be a member of the company. Electronic copies of proxy forms will be received via email to designated contacts as specified in the notice of meeting not less than 48 hours before the time fixed for the meeting. During the AGM, CSCS will transact ordinary business such as receive and consider the company's audited financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2019, and the reports of the Directors, Auditors and Statutory Audit Committee, declare a final dividend, elect, re-elect directors, authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors, amongst other businesses. The adoption of a proxy AGM is in line with the CSCS commitment to contain the spread of the coronavirus by adopting all the necessary safety measures such as maintaining social distancing, constant hand washing, use of sanitizers, amongst other measures to curb the spread of the virus. Looking at the fixed income market, the FGN bond market closed last week on a rather hushed note with very little transaction volumes consummated in the market. Traders tried to wrap up activities and clear their books for the end of the month. Bid-offer spread stayed wide at the head and belly of the curve, indicating low liquidity on those maturities, while spreads at the tail end remained tightened. Yields remained relatively unchanged across the curve to close the week. Demand is expected to remain weak at the long end of the curve going into the new week, with no major inflows expected, and market participants continue to cherry-pick bonds at the short and mid-dated securities. The Treasury bills market ended last week with low activity as bears took scouted for transactions from the less interested bidders following expected primary market supply from the CBN. We saw few axes on the June and October bills around 9% and 9.50% respectively, while the longer tenured bills February and March were offered around 10.50% levels. The Apex floated its weekly OMO auction where only 30 billion naira was offered. However, bucking the recent trend, the CBN sold 33% of the amount offered amid healthy demand. Total subscription was 198 billion naira. The stop rate printed lower from the various auction by 7 basis points to close at 12.64%. We expect rates to open slightly after the break as the new supply filters into the market. For the FX interbank I and E markets, remain tight to close the week, with minimal inflows from exporters and large corporates being the main source of liquidity in the market. Market bids ranged between 383 naira to $1 and 387 naira to $1, while the closing rate closed weaker at 387 naira to $1. The naira made gains against the dollar following the circular by the Apex Bank to resume dollar sales to banks for SMEs and school fees payments, as well as arrangements to revive its BDC sales. Demand weakened as buyers held off trades, causing the naira to appreciate by 1.1% on both the cash and transfer rates. We expect the pressure to ease slightly in the parallel market as the CBN commences the sale of dollars to BDC segments. From the Eurobond market, the Nigeria sovereigns made gains in the trading session as the sovereign papers felt the positive impact in the recent rebound in global crude oil prices. Yields compressed by 12 basis points on the average across the sovereign curve, with the 2047s and 2049s paper the major movers in yield terms. The Nigeria corporate papers had a quiet session with local demand concentrated on the Feed Bank and Zenith 2020s. For the highlights from last week Friday, Fitch Ratings revised Guaranty Trust Bank and Zenith Banks PLC's national long-term ratings to AA and AA- respectively. It also revised their national short-term ratings to F1+ and from F1. The rating actions followed the recalibration of the Nigerian National Rating Scale following the downgrade of the sovereign on 6 April 2020. Rating revisions are used to modify ratings for reasons that are not related to changes in credit quality. National scale ratings are a risk ranking of issuers in a particular market designed to help local investors differentiate risk. Nigeria's national scale ratings are denoted by the unique identifier. National scale ratings are not comparable to Fitch International Scales ratings or to other countries' national scale ratings. For the key markets and economic events to watch, the Economy and Politics Chrononomics discourse on Web TV will focus on COVID-19, assessing fiscal and monetary policy responses in Nigeria, with Mr. Laoye Jayola, CEO Nigerian Economic Summit Group, by 9 a.m. Also, the Market Review program will feature Mr. Zil Akaraiwe, CEO Graham Black, that will discuss COVID-19 lockdown easing, implications for health and the economy from 10 a.m. And that will be all for this edition of the Market Opening Gong. Visit www.proshareng.com to get more updates from our news stories and videos. Connect with us on our social media platforms displaying on the screen for further updates on our market reports and to watch a live stream of the weekday Corona Watch program. The ProShare mobile app is also available on Apple Store and Play Store on your mobile device, which allows you to customize your preferred news and videos. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching and do stay safe.